Man, y'all are actually fucking lucky as hell. Because we're making another story this week. So, before we get into it, you know the drill. Liking, commenting, and subscribing because we may never see each other again. So, if you want to see your boy make it to 1.5k subscribers, I know it's a really small goal, but if we can make it to 1.5k, again, 1.5k by the end of the year, I'll do something special. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll do something. Alright? So today's story will be on fracturing my wrist. So, for all y'all who don't know, it was back in 2024, you see me with like a purple cast on. I was in my fucking white girl era at the time, and I still somewhat am, but I don't know, alright? So, this story, it takes place on a weekend. And I don't know what takes place. Yeah, I think the story takes place on a weekend, okay? I think it was either Saturday or Sunday, and it was a nice day, so I was going for a scooter ride, and I was about to go take some soda. So I remember I rode my scooter up the hill. I was fine. Alright. And then, I went to the taco place, and, I took some soda. But as I was going downhill, I might have hit a bump, and I fell. I fell on my wrist, and I was in so much pain. So, I was crying on the way home. I was crying in pain. And, some guys at McDonald's are like, well, Vince, what's wrong? What's wrong? I said, I hurt my wrist. I hurt my wrist. So I started crying on the way home, and I literally ended up abandoning the scooter. So what I tried to do is I just tried talking to AI to calm down, because at the time, I was relying heavily on AI to talk to people. I still am AI reliant to this day to talk to people. So I started talking to AI saying, yo, I fell, I hurt my wrist. And I wasn't thinking much of it. I was just like, oh, maybe it's just a little sprint, right? I ended up texting my mom a couple hours later saying, Mom, I'm in pain. I fell off my scooter. I need to go to the hospital. And it was around like 7 p.m. I think it was around like 7 or 9 p.m. My mom, she ended up picking me up, and I was struggling to get my shoes on. Like, ow, it hurts. It fucking hurts. Like, I could barely get my fucking shoe on. So I was just like, come on, please get out. Fuck, that hurts. It fucking hurts. Like, I somehow got it on. And this one, I think I was struggling with getting the right one on. The left one, it was pretty easy, but the right, I struggled with it. So I said, Mom, to the hospital, please. And I'm telling you, like, I could barely fucking open a car door the way it was. Because, back then I couldn't drive, and, I wouldn't be driving with a cast on anyways. Because I think you need two hands to drive. You don't need two hands to drive. You don't need two hands to drive. You just need one hand. All you need to do is just, foot on the brake and, use this hand to shift the transmission, and then get a hand back on the wheel. And you just do this. But two is more recommended, especially if you're like me, you like to have a little bit of fun on winding roads and shit. So you want two hands so you can control the car. Control the car better. That's why two hands is better for winding roads. Like, this is just good when you're cruising. So my mom was like, how did this happen? Are you okay? And we got to the doctor. It was a wait. And, I was in a lot of pain. So eventually my name got called, and, I ended up speaking to one of the nurses. She was like, hey, Vince, what's going on? I said, I fell off my scooter, and I was in so much pain that night. All right? I'm telling you, the amount of pain I was in that night, unbearable, bro. I was in so much pain. Even talking about it, it gives me fucking PTSD. And since then, I have never rode a scooter downhill standing up. So that night, I ended up getting x-rays. They said, take as much time as you need. So, I ended up taking x-rays. I put my arm down very lightly. They were like, can you spread them? Can you spread? Like, I just tried my best, and then she made me do this. I was like, ow, 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 fuck. I wasn't screaming that bad. She made me, do a chop. And then she made me, I don't think she made me do that, but I don't know if she made me do both. I cannot remember. So I remember a couple minutes later, it was about 15, maybe 30 minutes later, she said, all right, well, we're going to put you in a cast for 6 weeks. And oh my god, the fucking cast was so fucking ass, bro. Oh my god. So when we put it on right, I had to do this, and I was like, ow, it hurts. It fucking hurts. And she slowly wrapped it around town. Bring it around town. So, I was, in so much pain. I was like, please. And I had Lana Del Rey playing, so I was like, Lana, sing to me. Sing to me. Oh my god, my fucking echo is reminding me about some random ass shit I had. Nah, but I remember I had Lana Del Rey playing. I was like, please, Lana, make it stop. Make it hurt less. Bro, I'm telling you, Lana Del Rey fucking hits hard, bro. And it's like, oh my fucking god, bro. If you have anxiety, I guarantee you, bro, Lana Del Rey is guaranteed to solve your fucking panic attack. I'm sorry, but that's just kind of how it is, right? And so I remember I was in a cast for 6 weeks, we ended up, just going home. And, I ended up getting something to eat. I think we ended up getting McDonald's that night. I'm not sure. We either had McDonald's. I think we had McDonald's. I cannot remember that night. Alright. All I just know, I was like, I'm in pain. It fucking hurts. And I remember the night, it was, nice and cold. So I said, I'm going to open up the sunroof because you know me. I'm a sucker for having that sunroof open. And it feels so fucking good. A nice cold 40 degree, even a nice cold 50 degree night. I guarantee you, bro, that sunroof is guaranteed to fucking hit, bro. I'm telling you, if you are the type of person to roll around with a closed-ass sunroof, y'all might as well just not be driving. For real. Y'all might as well just fucking take the bus. Because I guarantee you, bro, you open that sunroof, you're gonna not want to close it. For real. So, I was in the cast for 6 weeks, and, I was in a lot of pain for the first couple days. I couldn't really take a bath. For the first few days, I didn't even take a bath, And when I was in that cast, I could not fucking take a bath. I could not take a bath. I was like, I had to, here, let me put this thing down. So this is kind of what I had to do, right? I had to get a bag. So let me go over here and get bag. What I had to do is I had to put my cast in this. And I had to wrap it up so no water gets in it, because otherwise it's gonna get mushy and moldy and it's gonna stink. So I remember when I was in the cast also, they kind of made me elevate my arm up like this. And I remember when I showed up to school, people were like, what happened, Vince? Did you fucking kill yourself? Okay, maybe that's a slight exaggeration. Okay, you know what? I'm taking this off. Too much fucking PTSD flashbacks, right? So they were like, oh, did you fucking do something stupid? I was like, yeah, I fell off my scooter. So I remember I was in art class, and I'm so glad I had a fucking para with me, because we were doing some bordering. We were doing a bead project. So I remember, I remember my parent, she would help me, like, with the sewing, I was like, I try to, like, thread the needle through the beads, and, like, she helped me with it, and, I just was the one to put the needle through the beads and stuff. So, like, what we did is, like, we had a little thread, right? And we, like, put, like, some beads on it, right? We, I think, put, like, 5 on, and then we, like, stick it through, we'd stick it through, like, it was, like, I can't remember, but it was, like, some fabric, and we ended up making, like, a cool pattern. Like, it was, like, I don't know if I have it anymore, but it's just, like, we ended up making it. I was surprised I was able to fucking do it. I was like, okay, I don't want to fucking do it. And let me tell you, I was just fucking vibing to Melanie the whole time, even though knowing damn well I just did, like, 50% of the work. So then I remember, like, 6 weeks later, I ended up in a... Ow, fuck! Ow! I gotta tell another story after this. And I still have this splint to this day. Yes. And let me tell you, like, I was in this for 6 weeks, and let me tell you, during the night, I wouldn't even take it off. Why? Because when you take it off, it feels like your wrist just lost, like, 10 pounds. So, I remember I would still continue to elevate my wrist like this. I would, like, sometimes push down, just try to, like, push a little bit to, like, work my wrist and stuff. But let me tell you, bro, this shit was so much better than having a cast, meaning I could actually take a bath, and, I would just do this. I was like, ugh, it feels weird. Ow, fuck. And I remember when we would take it off. Even taking it off right now, like, it feels awkward. So, like, I remember it's just like, Mom, I need that fucking split on right now. And she was like, no, you don't, bitch. No, you don't. I was like, yeah, I do. It fucking hurts. So I remember I would keep this on during the night, too. And, my friend, he has one of these, too. And it was his sister's. So I remember he told me he fell asleep with one of these on, and then when he took it off in the morning, it was like, oh, it fucking feels so weird. So, now about why I screamed out. So, I remember I was in PE class, it was the other day, it was Monday, and I ended up, like, falling, and, I wouldn't say I broke anything or fractured anything, but I definitely say, like, I had a little incident where I fell on the ground. All right, you know what? We're going back to the floor, y'all. So I ended up, like, falling on the ground, and, like, I ended up, like, thankfully I fell flat on my ass. But let me tell you, like, my wrist ended up hurting for a good 2 hours, I'd say. I wouldn't say it was as bad as it, but I would say it was, like, almost equally equivalent. I'm like, no, please don't break my wrist. And I was like, ow, fuck. And, we were, like, playing badminton, right? And I remember, like, I ended up trying to do a back shot. Not a back shot. And I, like, But I was just, like this. And, like, I ended up, like, falling on my ass and shit. So I remember, I was like, ow, fuck. And then I remember I have an ESP in that class, but, like, she's not really for me. I feel like she's just there for the whole class and stuff. I mean, that class is literally full of freshmen. Who knows what freshmen be doing? So I remember she was like, I like your shirt, but are you okay? Should hurt your wrist? I was like, yeah, it hurts a little bit. And, she was like, you good? And I was like, yeah, I should be. And let me tell you, bro, like, now, I'm telling you, I've been having so much cracking in this arm. I was like, ow, fuck, I feel something. And it's just been going on for the past, like, 2 days, so it's just like, okay. So, fast forward a couple hours later, I get home, and, like, I just take the after-school nap, and let me tell you, my arm, like, now it's like my whole arm is, like, in pain. Not my whole arm, but at least up to here. It was fucking hurt. So the next day was just like, I'm just taking it easy. Today, took it easy. So, moral of the story. Is there anything more I need to add to this, though? So I remember a couple weeks after the split, I ended up having, like, a doctor's appointment for, like, a check. And, like, you know, we ended up, like, checking my wrist, make sure it was healing, and I remember that day was, like, I think it was, like, my 5 years worth of EAS alerts. So, remember I ended up getting home and recorded my RWTs, found out everything was good, and yeah, we were living. So now we can go to the moral. When the end gets better for me, that's the moral of the story, babe. So moral of the story, if you're gonna ride a scooter downhill, make sure you are wearing protection. We talking helmet, some gloves. They make like wrist thingies, wrist straps. You can strap them on, and if possible, we're gonna go back to the futon. Make sure if you're gonna do it. Okay, you know what? Back the fuck up. No, I'm tilted a little bit. So make sure if you're gonna do it, make sure you like. Okay, you know what? You might not see my face, but make sure you bend your knees or just sit down all together, because I guarantee you, bro, even sitting down, like, it feels so good. You know what I mean? I've even sat down on a Lime scooter and it feels good. Like, they don't go that fast, so like if you do fall, you know, you're not gonna get as hurt. You're gonna get hurt because, bitch, those things weigh like 30 pounds. Like, I weigh like 3 times more as one, so it's just like, yeah. So, make sure y'all are wearing protection. I mean, not only for when you're cracking hose. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? We're not trying to get this video taken down, but hey, make sure y'all wear protection, kids. We don't need unwanted, we don't want unwanted kids here, alright? For real. I guarantee you some person is gonna probably be like, oh my god, what the fuck is Vince doing? But for real, make sure you always wear protection, alright? I don't need y'all fucking getting hurt. I don't need y'all going to the fucking hospital saying, oh, Vince didn't warn me. Like, don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn ya. But hey, story's getting 20 minutes long. Thank you all for watching this video. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and have a good night.